Alright, so I shot a lot of video footage. I put a whole bunch of energy into filming this, and I lost all the footage. So, Jesus. Anyway, what I did was, instead of going all the way to here and pulling these out and trying to unearth the lead wire, we might still have to do that, but at this point I was like, I'm not going through all that. What I did was I soldered to the ends of the wires that came out here, and what I did was I was able to solder. I was able to make a decent connection, and then I shrink wrapped all the way up, double shrink wrap, as you could see. This side was a little thicker. I had to use an extra piece of larger to get all the way up. And then here you see we still, just like it was before I did anything, still a little exposed right in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to use some liquid, the dreaded liquid electrical tape. But that's what I have access to, and I think that that'll just give us a little more safety within there. What I did when I soldered, I was really hoping to show you guys all this, but I made a little shield for the windings. I was able to use that. And then when I did the heat shrink, I used lighter, and I used tin foil, and I wrapped around the coils here to protect the windings from the flame. You know, little things that you can do. So I'm going to try this stuff and try and get some on in there without getting it on the winding themselves. We'll see, because I don't know how big the brush is that's attached to the cap. I don't know how long this stuff takes to dry. I'm probably going to try to do 2 coats if I can in that little junction there. And, you know, this was broken. These wires were broken all the way up to there as it was, before I ever removed the motor from the case. So it was running like that. And at this point, we're just going to try to seal that up with the rubber deal. So that's the plan. I'll show you what it looks like when I get it done. All right, so I got a bunch of that stuff in there all the way up. I flipped it over, got the underside. So that's, it's not pretty, and unfortunately I did get a little on the winding there. Hopefully it won't be a big deal. I'm going to take that excess off. And that's what I did. That's what we got. So hopefully that's enough to keep it happy. All right, so we're here with the little baby Fasco. We're going to try and get this all buttoned up. It's a little, sorry, it's not good light here. Well, there's good light, but it's coming from the wrong area. So the liquid electrical tape dried up nice. It's a little on the stiff side, but that's okay. The casing goes to about here, so we're gonna have to heat these up and bend them so that they can exit the case where they're supposed to. I just was noticing something interesting, that because I'm trying to remember where the screws go when we put the motor back together, and the case is actually bent. It's actually dented here from over tightening. Not really sure what the deal is with that. And per usual, I didn't take enough photos or anything, so I'm not sure. We'll look at the back of the case here to see what here's the deal. There's 4 the clips with them, but there's 4 of those. But on the back of the motor, only 2 were, I think 2 of them were under. Only 2 of them have washers. So I'll have to go back to the video and see what the heck it looked like before I took it apart. Because I think 2 of them go through the motor, and 2 of them close the motor, and 2 of them go across and hold it to the bar. I think that's what what I did. We're going to clean this up. It looks really nice. There's a little oxidation on the front, but the back one is pretty clean. It looks pretty nice. Not sure what the deal was with the these metal things at the end, but we're going to clean everything up right now. There's no openings through it. You can see it's solid. And so that's what we're going to do now. All right, the bottom half, the back half is on. I'm a little worried about these being so stiff. I'm going to heat them up and see if they move a little bit, because this is going to be right up against, you know, the bar. So we'll see. And then the other thing is, I wasn't able to get the sticks lined up. You're not going to be able to see that. But these little cardboard sticks, I think they were supposed to kind of line up with the rivets. But they don't seem to be hitting. Hopefully it doesn't matter where they lie. I'm talking about down in the center there. These little wooden stick deals. or I think they're just cardboard, but you can see it's not quite lined up with the rivets, but that might be okay. We're gonna find out, obviously. All right, we oiled the rear housing, and there's air is out of there, and it's spinning quite nice. So we're gonna try to get the front housing on. God help us. All right, tapped together. I think pretty well lined up. We're gonna find out. God, I hope so. But it wasn't that hard to get it together, and I haven't even done the tap, tap, tap on the shaft, and it's all lined up. I mean, it really looks nice. So I'm still gonna tap a little bit. We'll make sure it's the way it should be, and we'll put the screws in. We'll make sure that it's lined up enough to accept the screws through the stator. Uh-oh, that's one thing I hadn't counted upon. Let's find out. Yeah, I forgot all about the screws going through the stator, so we're in trouble. I'm gonna have to realign all of this. Okay, now it's lined up. That wasn't wasn't quite as bad as I thought it would be. All right, the motor's all together. I'm not sure that it's really spinning as free as I'd like it to, but everything's lined up and together. It's tight, not too tight. I've tapped all around. So I'm not 100% sure about that. We're gonna have to, that's, you know, it's okay. Doesn't make any bad sound. So the next step will be gonna do a little cleaning in there, and we'll see if we can get this mounted and maybe the wiring. The back plate does, the little cover does come off. So we might be able to get this tested today. We'll see. Alright, we're looking at the switch, and as you can see, everything's soldered on here, with the exception of this stuff here, which I'm hoping is my switch, so that I can just, I don't know, Jesus. So we're gonna see. We're going to see. Everything is all pretty brittle in here. We might really have to literally rewire everything just to do it right. So we'll have to take a closer look. There's 4 connections and 3 wires coming from the cord. Black, green, and yellow. Yellow, where's my pointer? Yellow goes there, green goes there, and black goes up to the main one where the fan motor goes. So the motor connects to the main, and then this must be second speed, third speed. So we got to get the motor onto here somehow without disturbing anything else, and then the neutral from the motor goes to the power cord, which is this here. Motor's back in the casing as it was. Everything's a little cleaner. Fortunate that this issue with the deal, our cable here, is going to be okay. I'm going to be able to pull this and it doesn't have too much stress on it, so that's going to be good. I'm going to use wire caps to wire to these 2 things, hopefully, because I don't really want to take the switch out and apart in order to, you'd have to, these are together. The power to the motor and the black line from the coil are all scrambled up in there. And yeah, you could deal with it, but I'm going to attempt to just wire to this really gently if I can, and that's what we'll do. If we don't, then we'll have to go deeper into the switch. Alright, I just sort of loosened everything up, the motor mounts and these deals, because it was pretty bound up, and so now it's a little better. It seems like it doesn't want to be tightened too much. So now I guess we're okay. Alright, so I've got the neutral wire nutted. Alright, let me do this. 3, 2, 1. Alright, so I have the neutral wire nutted, and it should sit nice and easy up in there once the cover is on. And then I'm running the black. Instead of going over there's not going to be enough room for the little nut. So I'm running it up and around so that the nut will fit up there. And I'm hoping that'll keep everything under the little cover nice and happy. Alright, here's our repair. Everything did in fact fit up in there. Everything looked cool. No wiring broke any further. So I think we got it ready to plug in and see if the motor runs. I'm not really happy with how free the motor turns. At some point we might have to take this apart again. We'll see. Right, here's our moment of truth. We've got her plugged in, ready to try. There we go. Nice and quiet. That's the high. Yeah, it doesn't spin long. That's not good. Yeah, that's really bad. So we might have to take this apart again. So we'll have to think on that. Right, the blades are on. As far as the motor freeness, turn it by hand and it spins about like that, which isn't the most amazing. But for now, that's, I think, okay. You know, I oiled all the bearings and the little felts. So let's plug it in and see what it sounds like with the blades on. If we remember, it made a bad noise, which could have been because the bearings were dry or something. Could also be that the blades are no longer fully fastened to the hub. That does happen sometimes. One of the, I think, the Bishop BDM IM DMC, I think he did put like a bead of epoxy around like this and on the back, which I almost bought some epoxy because I have a feeling that's what that sound was. Let's plug it in and see how it runs with the as it is. Okay, here goes nothing. All right, no bad noise like that. There's the medium, and these speeds change as the coils warm up. Coil warms up. And there's low. Not a big difference between the speeds. But that's pretty nice. I like that. Back to high. And here's the spin down. Yeah, that's okay. You know, at least now we have it back together and it's electrically safe. So I'm going to put the grills on. Let's see it with the grills on, because that's the money shot right there. Alright, so now here's a little Fasco with the grills on. I realized I had never dusted them or cleaned them, so I took them outside and they had a little dust on them. They didn't clean up too different than they were, but they look sharp. And so let's go ahead and give her back to high. And there you go. Moves a lot of air, as you expect. Medium. Low. And again, usually the speeds get a little more pronounced when the coil itself is warmed up, the speed coil. Back to high. And you just spin down and off. And we'll take a look under the meter, make sure it's running at the right spec there. So there it is. At least wired and all good, you know. If you guys think that's really egregious with the way it spins down or anything, you know, we might have to go take the motor apart and see if we can get it to go back together. I mean, I think that's pretty much as good as I can get it. But we might have to try that again. But for now, it's wired correctly, safe. It's not making that noise it was making before. So I think we're cool. Let's see if we can get a reading. It's so bright here right now, but we're on amps. What's it supposed to run? Let's take a look. I can't see that, but it says we're looking for 0.85 amps. So on high, that's what we're hoping to find. Can you see that? Let's see what it does. We'll go to high. So it's a little above spec. We got a lot coming into the house, 1.223, so that would give you a little bit higher, but at least it's really close. which tells me, what does it tell you? I don't know. To me, it says that's close enough, but it's not running over too much load. It's really winding up too much. That's what you can see, right? You can go back down. So anyway, that's our deal. There's your baby Fasco. Got a little dust was in there out. So, you know, maybe at some point we'll go back through the motor. But at least now she's back together. No dangerous wiring, not any more than it was before I broke it. And so there you go. There's the baby Fasco. Thanks for watching. Thanks again for all your advice and everything. It really does matter. Helps a lot. Really does. So I appreciate everything you guys have to say. I take it to heart. I put it into practice. So that's what's really nice about these YouTube situations. So thanks. Hope you all have a good day. It's pretty nice out. Enjoy your day and get your fans going. All right.